Hey everyone, and welcome back to Made to Order a la Orden. I'm Chef Zee, and today I am back with a very special video. I am going to do a review, first impressions, and unboxing of Rosanna Pansino, aka Nerdy Nummies' new baking line. Now, I'm pretty sure you already know who Nerdy Nummies is. She's only one of the biggest YouTubers, and I am a huge fan. I've been watching her videos now for a few years. So when she announced a few weeks ago that she was launching her very own baking line, I jumped onto that pre-order and I logged into my Amazon account and I ordered a bunch of stuff. And you will never believe what arrived, not even on time, but early. This right here came onto my doorstep this afternoon. And I was so excited that I just had to go ahead, put my camera up, and film this video. Now, I'm not even going to lie. I had every intention of filming this video tomorrow during the daylight because you guys know I rarely film at night, but I could not contain my excitement. I can't even speak. That is how excited I am. I can't even lie. So, guys, I ordered a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to unbox it, test it out, and I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on it because her baking line is great for newbie bakers, and it's great to give as a gift, especially with the holiday season just around the corner. So let me know if you like these kinds of videos because I'll be more than happy to do more of these types of videos here on my channel. So let's go ahead and get started because I can't wait. Ooh, okay. So one of the first things that I ordered was a set. I actually ordered 3 different sets. And the first set that I ordered is her beginner's baker set, which comes with 3 different things. And one of them is this half apron that it's an apron that her mom designed that she now included as part of her overall Bakeware line. And I honestly can't wait to put it on. So here we go. Okay, so the apron is on and just filling it out really quickly. I really do like the material. It's pretty durable. Now overall, in general, I'm a size medium and this fits me perfectly. So I can see it fitting someone who's smaller or even slightly bigger than me. So good job, Ro, because I would say that this half apron is a good universal size. And it does say that it's like a one size fits all, and it's pretty true. Now, the next thing that comes as part of the beginning baker set is this oven mitt. Let's test it out. I like it. You know, it has some pretty good cushion. Now, this is just one of my kind of things. Overall, I would say if you're a really big fan of Rose, definitely get this oven mitt. But for me personally, I am not a big fan of white oven mitts because they just tend to get dirty. I mean, they're white. And the other thing is that it is all cloth. And I typically like oven mitts that have a little bit of silicone on the very top, simply because they're a little bit more heat durable, especially someone like me. I just kind of go into the oven and I'm always moving things around. So I really like to protect myself. And I think that this will do a good job. But just in general, we'll know more and I'll give my final thoughts later on after I actually take out some treats that I'm going to bake. And the last part of the beginner's baking line is these 2 spatulas. Now, right off the bat, I have to say that I am a fan of the fact that you get 2 different sizes, and you get 2 different sizes that you're definitely going to use. Hold on. So, I mean, this one I probably use all the time. I have a ton of these spatulas. I literally have 6 or 7 here in the house. They are silicone, which is really good because, again, that means it's going to be heat resistant. So you can melt butter, you can melt chocolate, you can use this over the stove or just regular batter and it's going to work. So it's really good because that means it has several different purposes. Again, this smaller size is really good. You don't know how much you need this until you actually have this and you realize how much you use it. It is pretty flexible, but at the same time, it's not too flexible. So I foresee this working out really great. Again, I'll let you guys know my final thoughts once I actually put it to the test. Now, let's see what else is in the goodie box. Okay, so the next set that I bought is this cookie set, which actually comes with 4 cookie cutters and a cookie stamp. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the cookie stamp. I think the cookie stamp is really good. It actually has Rose logo. Not sure if it's actually gonna do a good job at stamping something, but we'll see later on when I actually put it to the test. And you get 4 more cookie cutters. You get the emoji poop cutter. Oops. You get this mustache cutter. You get this pie symbol. And you get this like little Lego Nintendo-y little heart symbol as well. Now, right off the bat, one of the things that I like about these cookie cutter is that they come with this comfort grip. I'm gonna open one and see just how comfortable it really is. And then once I bake with it, again, I'll let you know for sure what the real skinny and the real tea is on them. So here. Oh, so actually, fun fact, so on the back side of these cookie cutters, you actually have a recipe for vanilla almond sugar cookies. I wonder if they all have the same recipe. Yeah, so it looks like all of the cookie cutters have the same recipe on the back. So that'll be a good one to kind of try out if you ever have any free time. Now, back to the cookie cutter. I'm not gonna lie, these cookie cutters are a little bit bigger than I thought they were going to be, which isn't a problem. Just know that when you're making these cookies, they're going to be bigger cookies. And overall, yeah, it's pretty comfortable. It has like a rubbery grip, so it's pretty good. They're not overly sharp, but they're sharp enough. So I can't wait to really try these out and see how it goes. So last but not least, we have the Cupcake Set, which is the set that I am most excited to really get my hands on. This set comes with cupcake liners, cake testers. Oh. And it comes with a set of 6 bowls, no, excuse me, 3 bowls with 3 lids. Now I'm gonna clear some space because I really wanna just get in here. Okay, so first things first, these cake testers. Oh my God, I almost broke it. That would have been so bad. Now, these cake testers are pretty cute. I honestly really use toothpicks, so I imagine that these are gonna work great. But you get this nice little like rubbery top and this little metal. So I imagine that when you test your cakes, it's gonna come out great. But again, I'll let you guys know. Now, I'm really excited to see how these work out because when I was looking these up on Amazon, it says right here that the colors stay bright after baking. And one of my biggest challenges whenever I'm making cupcakes is that all the oil and the butter just naturally seeps through. So I always look for cupcake liners that have that aluminum inside just so that the outer coating of the actual cupcake liner stays bright. So let's see if these have that aluminum coating that I just love. Here we go. Mad dramatic. Ah! All right, here we go. Oh, okay. So this is pretty good. They actually really do have the aluminum inside lining. So I'm expecting that once I bake some cupcakes, the outside is gonna stay nice and bright. Now, one of the pretty cool things about her cupcake liners is that you get a set of 72 and you get about 6 different styles, so it's about 12 in each. Now I'm going to put all the information and all the pricing somewhere here on the screen throughout the video, and I'll link everything down below as well in case you're interested. Again, I'm really excited to bake with these liners and see how they perform. And last but not least, these bowls. Interesting, not sure where this goes, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so here you have the 3 different lids, 3 different colors, you know, not bad. Then you have bowl number 1. Realize this probably goes in here. I'll put it on later. It has like a plasticky material. It has a rubber bottom. I'm assuming so that it'll be like anti-slip. So when you're mixing things, it's not gonna move around, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Then you have like a medium-sized bowl and you have a large bowl. Now, right away, I can tell you one of the things that I do like about this bowl is this little lip right here, because not all batters are actually created equally. So some are a little runnier than others. So it'll be good to just kind of like pour them into your cupcake liners or even your cake pans. I am going to admit that I am a little nervous that these are plastic and that these are white. Because if you are going to use this to say, let's say you're making a red velvet cake or you're using this to make a buttercream and you're going to dye it, I am afraid that the color gels will stain these plastic bowls, but we'll see. I don't intend on using any food coloring, but if you do buy this set, just keep that in mind. Or you just may want to use anything that you're using any kind of food coloring, maybe in a glass bowl or a stainless steel bowl. So there you guys have it, my big ol' messy unboxing of Nerdy Nummies Awesome Bake Line. Now I'm going to put everything to the test and I'm going to come right back and give you my final thoughts on this bake line. Hey guys, so I am back with my final thoughts on this awesome baking line, and we're going to figure out if this baking line was a go or no, or if it was Chef Zee approved. Now, we're gonna kick things off by giving the final thoughts on the beginner's baking line. So the apron. I personally really like the apron. Like I mentioned before, if you're a size smaller than me or a size larger than me, I think you're gonna be fine. And honestly, this apron just yells the hostess with the mostest, which is my favorite part. Now, when it comes to the spatula, I have to say that these are also really pretty solid. My only concern when it comes to the spatula is this little logo right here. I just feel like with time, it's going to experience some wear and tear, but that's totally normal. Now, I did test the spatula out a few things. I went like this because I like to see just how much flex and how much give the spatula has, and it has a very comfortable amount. And I compared it to some of my other favorite spatulas that I have here in my kitchen, and it did pretty well. Now, the other thing I was a little worried about was just the color. I personally bake with a lot of colors. I'm always making buttercreams and red velvet cakes, so I also did test to see if this silicone was stain resistant by mixing in some electric blue gel paint that I used in my leftover cupcake batter, and as you can see here, it is stain free. That's not to say it's going to be stain free forever, but even some of the best spatulas just don't stand up to stains overall, throughout time. And one of my favorite things also about this spatula is that when you pull it apart, it has a very fun message that Ro left for you guys, which I thought was pretty cool. So overall, the apron and the spatula definitely gets a go. Now, the most disappointing part, unfortunately, about the beginner's baking set was the oven mitt. Guys, this just really didn't do anything to combat the heat. I tested it twice when I was taking the cupcakes out of the oven and then the cookies, and both times it was just really hot. And you guys know that I have named my stone Balerion the Black Dread because it is a really hot stove, but nonetheless, the oven is very similar to my mom's oven, which is slightly less hotter than mine, and even then, it just didn't do a good job at, kind of keeping the heat away from our fingers, and we don't want to get burned. So unfortunately, the oven mitt is a no for me. But I will say, if you're starting off and this is going to be your first set, then overall, then yeah, I give it a go. So as a whole, the beginner's baking set is Chef Zee approved, but just keep in mind that the oven mitt does not do that well against really hot temperatures. I have to say that the cookie set was the set that kind of impressed me the most. I was the most surprised by this set. So to start off, let me just caveat and say that I did make some cookie dough. Well, I used store-bought cookie dough, and I didn't let it set in the refrigerator long enough, which was completely my fault because, guys, I'm tired and it's late. But I will say this. if you're going to be using these cookie cutters to make some cookies, be sure that you're working with really cold cookie dough. As a rule of thumb, anytime that you're working with cookie dough, you do want the cookie dough to be cold because that's going to make sure that your cookies hold its shape. So if you didn't know that tip, you know it now. And that is especially true for these guys. So I used the little poop emoji one. And just like it says it's comfort grip. And so when I press down really hard, I tested it, and lo and behold, it is very, very comfortable. It didn't hold its shape when it baked, but again, that was my fault. I will also say that if you don't mind jumbo cookies, these cookie cutters are for you. Me personally, I like my cookies just a little bit smaller, but that's not a deal breaker. That just means, hey, I just gonna have a bunch of cookies that day, which is fine. Now, the thing that impressed me the most was actually this stamp right here. So I used my own circle cookie cutter just to kind of get the perfect shape, and then I pressed down really hard and it created a perfect stamp. The only thing is that it didn't hold up while it was baking, but I think that there were a few reasons why that was. Number one, I think that this cookie stamp is meant to be used with sugar cookies, or even that vanilla almond cookie, the recipe that's on the back. I think that's what it's meant to be used, because I use a cookie dough that has small little chocolate chips in it, and I think that kind of contributed to it losing its shape, on top of the fact that the cookie dough was a little bit warm when I was baking it. But nonetheless, is the cookie set a go or no? And is it Chef Zee approved? And it is. I'm happy to say it definitely is. Now, moving on to the cupcake set. So this cupcake set has some highs and it has some lows. So to start off, when it came to the cake tester, I thought the cake testers were awesome. They're cake testers and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They're really fun because they have the heart and they have her emoji. And my favorite part is that these cake testers are actually reusable. Unlike toothpicks, like you use them one and you throw them out. So I would say that these are probably a little bit better for the environment, which always just makes me feel a little bit better. Moving on to the cupcake liners, just like I thought, that aluminum foil trim did keep that bright color outside. As you can see here, this cupcake liner did not lose its color, which is always pretty good to see. You can clearly read the message on the bottom, and it says, "Life is what you bake it, and ain't that the truth?" So overall, the cupcake liners were really good. They're really fun. I think you guys will really enjoy them. Now, the bowls. I'm a little conflicted when it comes to these bowls. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them, and here's why. So to start off, they're plastic and they're white, which automatically just kind of worries me a little bit, because I just feel like over time, they're not going to stand up to a lot of coloring and things like that. Now, I did test it. I had some leftover cupcake batter, which I dyed electric purple. I let it sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I washed it, and it came out fine. But I don't know that that's going to necessarily be the case in a few weeks or in a few months or over some use, which is normal. But hey, just wanted to kind of put that out there. The other thing that I was not that crazy about when it came to this bowl was the spout. The spout is really thin, and as you can see here, I overfilled my cupcakes, and part of the reason was because I just could not control how much was coming out because of that spout. Now, that's something that you can easily kind of control and combat and fix if you just use an ice cream scooper, which is what I typically do anyways, but I did just want to test it out, and I want to let you guys know that as well. Now, the last thing I was not that crazy about when it came to these bowls was the fact that they're supposed to be air sealed tight. I'm not sure if I said that right. Point is, they're supposed to kind of be leak resistant, and I put some water into the small bowl right here, and I flipped it over, and what do you know? We had a leak, which again may not necessarily be a big deal, but I want to let you guys know, in case you're going to put some batter, put it in the fridge, just know that you make sure it doesn't like tip over, because you might have a leak situation. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're in the market or if you're looking into getting these bowls. Now, it wasn't all bad when it came to these bowls, I will say that. I did like the grip. I like the little handle. It had like a nice little silicone rubber handle. Also on the bottom, it has this silicone rubber handle as well. So it kept the bowl from kind of spinning around. And that typically happens, and you can buy kitchen gadgets and kitchen tools that will prevent your bowls from doing that. But I did appreciate the fact that this comes kind of one and done in one package, and you don't have to get another one. Me personally, I would say that you're probably better off, honestly, just spending your money and investing it in either some glass bowls or either some stainless steel bowl, because I think that they're just a little bit more versatile. You can use those bowls to kind of put them over heat to melt some butter or melt some chocolate and make some meringues or other desserts like puddings and custards. I think they'll be more durable in the long run, and they'll be more or less about the same price. So the Cupcake Set as a whole, is it a go? Is it a no? Is the Chef Zee approved? And it is. It actually really is. Even though I have this love-hate relationship with the bowls, I still think it's a pretty good set, especially for a newbie baker and especially as a gift with the holidays coming around. So there you guys have it, my honest review and my honest first impression on Nerdy Nummies Baking Line. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe and come back next week when I have an all new video. Buen provecho, guys.